after. Then, then we call it a session. We wait for Wednesday to answer the second week. So about the internet, hoping hakuna mtu akona swali kwa mahali pengine. I asked people to define for me what the internet was or is, and I got different answers. Wengine wanasema it's a wide area network. Someone say it is it's a service where if you want to search, you can. Anyway, people have different theories on what the internet is. But in just few seconds, minutes, I'll explain what this thing is. First of all, the internet is an international network. It's a worldwide network of computers. Anybody who joins the internet is joining the world, in short. That's why we usually talk about the internet making the world to look like a small village. It operates, it's being managed, of course, by different companies. We have different resources found on the internet. So many actually per now. You can find literally anything about anything. Any of your interest or passion you have, just Google search, go to YouTube, go where you can find utazipata huko because of the internet. Internet, as we were talking about categories of or classification of network, we talked about wide area network. Internet belongs there, and actually is very, very wide. I don't have notes on this internet. Anyway, the internet is made up of miles and miles. I don't know. Should I say miles or thousands of miles? Anyway, just very long fiber optic cables, or undersea cables, as people call them, and they connect different countries and different continents together, so that network is formed. For instance, I know Kenya, we are connected to Google, we are connected to China, and we also connected to Amazon via South Africa, such kind of things. That is via the Kenyan port. ISP or internet service providers, they are the ones who connect users to the internet, and they can connect you to the internet wirelessly if you have a mobile phone, or if you have also that money, they can connect you directly. They can link you directly. That is via cables. That is fiber optic, to be specific. That is the best one you can use. You can still use this other one, but we talked about the few disadvantage of these other cables. So if I go back to my sharing, the internet, let me draw Africa here. I'm not so good at drawing, but I'll try. Okay, this is Africa. This is, let's say, Europe. Europe iko hapa, iko juu. I don't know. If this was the world map, let me erase this other one. Okay, that one is erased. If this was the world map, Google servers ziko somewhere here, and these servers are just physical infrastructure. Then we have servers here in these other continent. Also here we have different servers huku. We can have some in Africa. And these servers, some of this server ground, as someone mentioned about it, they're usually connected. It's usually a very big infrastructure. Kuna ingine niliambiwa eka 2, eka 5. Anyway, the way they measure it, it's just very large infrastructure with its own private separate network. Then zimewekwa specifically for storage. So for Google ina keep vitu za za Google. If you want a website, that's where it's kept. If you go find them on the internet, talk to them, they'll host you. They'll store your website's details and make sure anyone who can connect to them can be able to view. Now, all these servers, they are being connected together by what we are calling undersea fiber optic cable. This is how we form the internet. So different companies inafanya hii kazi, but there's just one company I know that inafanya kazi ya kulay these undersea cables. That is, if any country needs them or if any company needs them, it's called AT&T. You can go and check it out. It's an American company. Now once hizi hapa kuna sea, hapa kuna ocean. Few people know world map looks like. There's an ocean. All these cables inapita below the ocean. They are fiber optic. That means they can go a very long distance. We said 70 to 100 kilometers before zianze kupoteza that signal. But anyway, these cables inakuanga accompanied by power. So every 70 or 100 kilometers you'll find what we are calling a repeater. A repeater kazi yake ni kureceive signal, kui-boost ama kui-amplify and to send it again. So that power line following this fiber optic, kazi yake ni to power these repeaters. They are along these cables. Ziko along these cables. Every 70, 100 kilometers, you'll find one. Every 70, ukienda YouTube, there are documentaries about these things, how they are laid, how they work, how they are repaired, how they are maintained. You can go and check them out. But anyway, this is how they are kept. Now, once kuna easy connection, now this one is what now forms the internet. Now this one becomes the internet. If this was Google, for instance, they have their servers. Kwa servers zao wamestore maybe website, wamestore content, kama zile zinakwanga Wikipedia, history of things. Tuseme hawa ni Microsoft. They are here with their own servers. Microsoft Azure, and let's say these are Amazon or Alibaba. Like so. So all of these, all of these now at some point, they're all connected together. So anytime you join this network, I can access Google, I can access Amazon, I can access Microsoft. If they want to turn a continent or a country on or off the internet, they can easily do that from this point. Now our Kenya is somewhere there, somewhere here. Tuko Kenya yetu hapa. And I'm good at drawing, I should change my career. Once imeingia at the Kenyan port or any country's port, zinakuja zikiwa cable, hazikuja zikiwa wireless. Zikifika hapo, now it's upon the government and the local ama the country's internet service provider to make sure that internet or that connection, that internet connection is applied countrywide to everyone ama anyone or any company that will need it. So ndio unapata now Safaricom, let me use Safaricom because you know Safaricom, they'll come and set up something we call a cell tower like so. I'm a booster. Hii ni booster ya Safaricom. I guess this is how it looks like. Then from this Kenyan port, they'll connect one fiber from here. Kuja connect na hii. So this cell tower is connected to these three. That is Amazon, Google, and Microsoft. Then all of them have been joined to form one connection. Zimeconnectiwa to Safaricom. Safaricom, because this one is Kenyan port, these cell towers iko na things hapa juu or antennas, zinakanga kama dishes, zingine zinakanga this shape. Beams. Companies that make these things like Microtik. Ingine inakaanga tu kama don't say a plate. But then inakaa kama sahani. Like so. Yeah, it can be one, it can be a number of them for the same. Zina serve different purpose. Kuna hiyo moja tu inatumiwanga for mobile communication ama cellular networks. If you have done cellular networks, kuna moja inatumika for cellular network, kuna ingine inatumiwa for internet. There's another one maybe for some other person. Then this cell tower, let's say it's connected to, kuna ingine mahali huku karibu na nyumbani. There's another one here. So this other one can be connected directly to this other one via cable, or it can be connected wirelessly, because these satellites easy and these gadgets hapa usually zina generate those electromagnetic waves na zinaweza zipropel to a very long distance. Kuna ka small one I know it can go to 5 to 6 kilometers. There's a more bigger one goes to 16 kilometers. There's even a more powerful one goes up to 78 kilometers. But the only problem with this electromagnetic technology being used here is they have to maintain a straight line of sight. That's why these cell towers or these towers, I'm a booster, they're usually very tall, even than buildings. Kuna places umeona zimekuwa ni fupi, kuna places zimekuwa ni refu. Yeah, they are just making sure that straight line of sight is maintained. Because again, kama kuna muti katikati, kuna building katikati, yes, that signal inaanza kugrow weak. But anyway, if it's straight, kuna patana na ingine huko, another booster or another cell tower. I think they were called boosters because anytime zina receive wave, huwa zina boost then zina broadcast again. So kama hii ikitoka hapa, because this one is just sending and receiving too. Ikifika huku, what this one will do, it will boost this signal because ikifika ikuangi with the same ikuangi the same strength na venye ilitoka ikiwa huku. So ikifika hapa inakuwa boosted as the name booster, then itume kungine, maybe some other place, maybe Machakos or a far place like Garissa. Anyway, let me come back to what I was explaining. So these are how the internet now works. Ikifika hapa ni ISP wanachukua the government pia inachukulia hapo. The government pia inakwanga, government has to be an internet service provider. Najua iko siasa na watu wengi they talk about the government doesn't have any haina network, but the government does have a network. Actually, it's the one supplying to all of us. Where should I rub? Anyway, let me just quiz, bora follow closely. Now, zikikuwa hapa, there's a person here, person X with that phone. Oh, this is person X. They're about the leg they were jumping. Hako na simu yake hapa ama kompyuta yake or anything. And this one is connected to this cell tower wirelessly via the same idea of electromagnetic waves. Easy devices ziko hapa and your phone, they're able to generate and receive electromagnetic waves. Let me explain how these things work. Ni physics kidogo tu, so don't worry. You people know of charges. We have, if you don't see it, look at your top right screen. We have charges, positive and negative. We have concept like charges attract and like charges repel, or iron and like attract, like repel. But anyway, these charges, positive and negative, on any antenna, anytime power inakuwa induced, they move. Zina move. Kuna, I wish I had drawn a television one. Let me use this one. This one ina move ikikuja juu, ina move ikikuja chini. Ni kama ukuwe na maji kwa chupa na uko na balls ndani. If you shake them, kunapata kuna zinaform hizo ripples. Kuna ball inasonga juu, ingine ikiwa chini and vice versa. That jumping motion. So in any antenna, these charges huwa zina move in the same format. And before anyway, zikiwa hapo, around them they have something called an electromagnetic field. Kama tu ya magnet ya kawaida. The field, chanichora hapa more clearly. You'll have to bear with me, I'm not used to using a very small board like this one. So like so. If you have done physics, you know this thing more better. So kuna hiyo field na exist between these two charges. Kuna hiyo field. So once they start coming closer to each other, that field kuna venye inavurutwa inakaa hivyo. Kanajikunja. So zikifika pamoja zishikane ziform one thing, like so, they will cancel out. Once they cancel out, what happens? We no longer have an electromagnetic field. So the one that was there ilikuwa inajikunja, it okay, in a Lensman language we shall say it jumps off. So it jumps off like so. Inajitoa from this one. Then the next action now ni hizi pia zipitane. So zikipitana, the negative comes there, the positive comes there. So zikiachiliana tena, another field is formed like so. Hii ikifika mwisho, they start coming together again. Zikikuwa karibu, they cancel out, that field jumps off again. So your process ni repeatedly. So going up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. So zina generate so many of this field. This field ndio zinakuwa sasa transmitted as now our data. That is now information being converted from electric signal to electromagnetic or to waves, in short. So hizo signals sasa ndio zina move in this form. Actually these are represent waves up to your device. Ikifikia device yako, the process of receiving it is still the same. Hiyo field ikifika, inafika when these two are close to each other, ama when they are separating. So zikianza kuseparate, this field, because it's nearer, it will jump on it. It will jump on it. So ikijump on it, process inakuwa reverse the same way. So that's how antenna works, or any wireless works apart from infrared. That's how they work. So even the information inakuwa received. So antenna ndio ita convert these fields now to electric signal, the electric signal now to your data now to your screen. Now that you see, oh, it's a WhatsApp message. Even ndio ina work. That's why when you move away from these cell towers, Temo umeenda mahali ushago ndio kuna hizo mashinda mob. Or even towns penye kuna buildings mingi sana and they are not hazijawekwa mzuri. Anytime you move away from this thing, kuna hii distance. Ikiwa ni kale kadogo, I know it's 16 kilometers. If you are 16 kilometers away from your desired cell tower, I won't talk much about cellular networks because that's a different kind of networking people will talk about. If you have an interest, you can do it. If you move away from this thing, let's say 16 kilometers, if you're using that small, unaanza experience what we call a signal loss or network loss. Watu wanasema unapoteza network, ama sauti inapotea if you're talking on phone. If they call you, probably you're off, or it will say you're busy because it can't locate you. So those are some of the problems with these wireless thing. So you have to be closer to this thing. Anytime you make communication with hello, sikupati, sauti iko chini, unaongea ukikatika, that means either of you wako mbali na hii kitu. Anyway, if you're using mobile data, that's how you receive information from the net. So uta browse hapa YouTube, it will go to that cell tower, itakuwa interpreted, it will be received, isome, ione that information goes somewhere, itatupa kwa the next device. Let's say there's a device here, the device itasoma, it will send back to the next device, which will be now the Google servers. Google servers wako na network yao, maswitches zao, their own routers, itasoma ione unataka information gani, then ipate, then ikupatia the desired information. Then it will go back the same path now back to your cell tower, back to your phone. The process is so fast, because nikisearch kitu, I don't think if I can take 10 minutes to wait. If I have a very good internet connection, ni hivyo. But anyway, nilikuwa nataka tu kubaki kwa hiyo concept ya how the internet works and if you're using a mobile phone data and niko na data nataka kuweka internet zinaingiana aje. So if you want to be an ISP, you come talk to people like maybe Safaricom or the government, then you set up your own towers, your own cell towers with bridges on top. These things are bridges and they bridge you and this other person, you and this other cell tower. This is your cell tower. So you make sure you connect to let's say the government, of course it's wirelessly or wired if you can afford. Then of course you pay them something little, watakuja kufanya wenyewe configuration because hao ndio wanajua credentials zao. Once they do that, you have internet access on your cell tower. So your work is just to look for clients. So ukipata client, you make sure they're within that range. If they are not within that range, either you tell them sorry, ama you provide an alternative of giving them what we call direct linking, that is direct cable from your cell tower. Anyone who has fiber in their house, they are connected directly to their internet service provider, nearest cell tower ama nearest booster. But kama ni wireless, you'll buy these things watu wananuanga. It's called what? Hiyo receiver ya hizi webs. Bima or something. Hii ndogo for consumers, end users. It's called a bima. Something around 6,000-7,000 there about. This one works for around, I think, pia 16 kilometers. So ukiwa karibu, wewe unapata internet. Of course, this one will be connected to your router, then your router now to your phone, or if you have a switch, hivyo. That's how the internet works. So if you look at this, whatever explained here, there's a very, very, very small portion of this internet being wireless, contrary to what initially we used to know that kuna satellite juu, alafu information inaenda juu kwa satellite and back. I'll draw that in a few. But anyway, that is not how internet works. It works via fiber optic cables. Kama ni wireless, ni yaka small distance tu pekee. If you argue and you say you have Wi-Fi, yangu ni wireless, I'm using Wi-Fi, that is just from your router to your phone. Hebu jaribu kuenda kwa wenyewe uone kama utatumia Wi-Fi yako. You won't. Why? You are very far away from it. And probably you can't even maintain the line of sight. So in very brief, that's how the internet works. Hope it's clear. If you have a question, please you can ask. I'll explain the other one. Yeah, satellite. Probably clear. I'll explain the other one of satellite. Nilikuwa nimewambia before. But anyway, see it ni kitu inatumiwa saa hii. So there is this guy called Elon Musk. He's trying to, he said for those who want private internet, you can use that. But it's a very different technology again, but this is how it works. If this was the Earth's surface, allow me to draw something decent. Something like this. If this was the Earth's surface, kuna mtu hapa Omondi point A. Then there's another person here, point B. They want to use the internet and they want to use satellite. As the CEO of SpaceX alisema, wataka kutumia satellite. Above the Earth's surface, we know there are satellites. There's zinatusaidia kwa so many things, including weather forecasting, things to do with GPS, geographical, hiyo mastori ya map. If they want to view maybe, kuna hii story ya Google Earth, how it works. Gari inajidrive yenyewe along the road, inajua destination. Hiyo ndio kazi ya hizi satellite. So this is a satellite. The distance from the Earth's surface to this satellite, it's an approximation. It's around 22,000 miles. 22k miles from the Earth's surface. So if it's wireless, and remember wireless tunatumia sahi kwa internet, it's something that cannot go more than 100 kilometers. Not even 70 actually. That's why if you find a very remote places that are very far away from big towns, utasikia huko hakunanga network, huwezi tumia huko simu. Why? Because it's 70 plus kilometers away from the nearest cell tower wanaweza tumia. So they have to go either karibu na hiyo cell tower ama wapande maybe kwa mlima so that the line of sight ikakuwa more clearer, though your network si ati bado ni powerful. So you can imagine if it's supposed to go 22,000 miles, you convert to kilometers, that is, I don't know how many. I know it's just more than 22,000. So that won't be possible with our technology high. But anyway, what SpaceX are saying, if you have a satellite here, what you need to do, if this is your server, the server has something we call a small satellite peer now. So each satellite inatuma information upwards towards the satellite thing what's called the uplink. That is some 22,000 miles plus above that surface. Ikifika huku, these satellites have power, so that signal once it has been received, inakuwa amplified. Ikikuwa amplified, ina check direction, destination ni wapi to this person. It travels back some another 22,000 miles before reaching the destination. So ukipiga hesabu in total, this is around 44,000 miles traveling wirelessly. It's achievable, yes, with the current technology we have, but again, it has to be the slowest, because talking about wireless, it can be all that distance up and down, it's a lot. So it's the idea, but anyway, mostly watu wanakuanga na idea hii, tunatumia satellite. So anytime unasikia a satellite is going to be hit by an asteroid or sijui nini, people get afraid, internet tutapoteza or something. Sorry, namna hiyo. Then there was a question, though not from you people. Mtu aliuliza about landlocked countries like Uganda. How do they get internet access? Mbona watu nasikia ati Uganda imezimiwa hakuna internet because there's election, or maybe even Kenya. How do they do it? Nilikuwa nimechora initially before the map of Africa. If I can draw a very rough sketch of it. This is a landlocked country here, and this is Kenya. So what they do is just like railway. They'll have to talk to Kenya so that hii connection ikicross hapa inakuja directly hadi huko Uganda. Or they can again fetch that from Kenyan internet service provider. Kama Ethiopia najua sahii wanatumia Safaricom. Why? As in how? Because now Safaricom is an internet service provider in Ethiopia, but it's not sourcing from Ethiopian's ISP, it is sourcing from Kenya's own ISP. So technically, Safaricom wanaweza amua wakazimia watu Ethiopia internet, but only for those who are using Safaricom again. So landlocked countries pia zinaweza chukua hivi, that directly, just talking with their neighbors, ama pia wakuja wachukulia from coast, the nearest one. Hivyo. So anytime unasikia umezima mahali internet, it's usually that connection, that entry connection. Like in the Kenyan port, tuseme tu sahi now the Kenyan port sahi tuende, everything iko along the beach, everything including those where the ship and ferries dock, zichomwe zote along wakifuata. Of course tutapoteza internet because those cables zinapita mahali hapo. I know of one in Mombasa, sijui the specific place. I know of another one in Malindi. Yeah. There's another one in Malindi, I guess, somewhere there. Oh, we have 10 more minutes. So, but anyway, zote zinafidiwa kwa the Kenyan system, allows in a transfer. So from what I've shown you about how the structure of the internet is, hiyo flow ya data along, ikimove, of course, kuna trace kama security. Najua kwa Ocean you'll talk about threats like there was a time Shark iliuma cable, fiber cable ya Google, it was all over. Then some part of the world wakapoteza Google connection. It was some time back, I think in 2016. If you follow history or you follow news. So such kind of threats, but mainly is security. How secure is that data? So just to make sure that data is secured over the internet, we have what we call encryption. That is your information equate transmitted in plain text, inakuwa encrypted, ama changed to a very unreadable format to undesired, ama unauthorized people. Once inakuwa encrypted, inatuma. But again, this encryption is not safe. So how do they make sure it's safe? We talk about things like firewalls, because pia mimi naweza encrypt kitu na nikakutumia and it's still harmful. Kuna firewalls, anywhere kuna very big network, be guaranteed their security is super smart, unless they are not smart enough, ama they don't have that fear of being that is being hacked. So for you to be a very good penetration tester or an ethical hacker, you need to know some of these encryption algorithm, how to undo them, how to do them. Unajua zingine zinakuanga ngumu. Kama MD5 is one way. So niki-encrypt ni hivyo, you have to use something like a dictionary to decrypt. And if that encryption doesn't belong, it doesn't haiko kwa dictionary yako, again you can't. The others about routers and switches pia zinakuanga their own security. There's something called port forwarding. If your router or if you have a layer 3 switch and that thing is enabled, go and check those ports that are being used. Probably nile, I know of Kenya watu wengi kusi wachokozi, so it's not a big deal. Mimi mtu akija kuniakea net, as long as I have internet access, naeza WhatsApp, naeza YouTube, I'm good. I won't worry about am I safe, am I not safe, sijui port forwarding or what. I won't worry about that one. But once you go to organization, especially sensitive organization like DCI, like banks or even the police service, security has to be one of their key things. And usually in their IT team, many of them wananga hao staff wenye wanajua kutest hizi vitu ama kufanya hizi vitu. Ni wasaitu wa kumanage na kumaintain. So at time utapata they are looking for private individual to do those penetration testing on those ethical hacking just to see how strong are they. Na pia of course for advice. Unaweza pata yao iko very, very rigid. Like if you visit University of Nairobi, try it's very, very rigid. But again, you tell them it's rigid, but you need to do this and this just to make sure anytime the world decides to get smarter, you are one step ahead. So unless you people have a question, I think I'll be stopping this meeting. In 6 minutes. Kama hakuna kuna mtu wako na kitu ya kusema. But kama uko nayo, please forward. Kama huwezi ongea. Then please again narudia hiyo stuff ya hiyo site. Manze, you people paid a lot of money to be here and that site it's paid for you guys. So make sure mnaitumia Grading yake iko automatic. That is kuna opening time na kuna close time. Once iki close like an assignment ama discussion, you won't be able to contribute and it will give you a grade of 0. Na sisi tumekupea 0 juu. It's giving you 0 because you au commit deadline ama ukufanya within that deadline. Week 1 nimeona kuna discussion, nimeona kuna quiz, although I think there are only 2 questions. Kama umejaribu ku attempt, there are only 2 questions and it's multiple choice. So it's something you can do in 39 seconds or even in 10 seconds. Kuna nini ingine? Kuna hiyo week 1 overview, so just check just to make sure hakuna kitu umemiss. The videos ya hizi week, I think I'll upload them starting from tonight. By kesho midday, all of them should be there. So kama kuna any session will miss, you'll be able to find it there. Zimelabeliwa, check your week 1 overview. Then kuna wale watu wako na shida ya ku access the same site. Once you log in for the first time, you change your password. As I said before, it will prompt you to change your password. Once you change, you will log in again. Ukiona na kuprompt to change password again, that means password uliweka either inafanana na mtu ama iko that strong. Yeah. Yani inamaanisha ni easily mtu anaweza ijua easily ama inaweza patikana easily. So please just make sure your password is secure. Once you are in, there are a number of courses there. They can be 2, it can be 1, it can be 10. Click on computer networks 2 is your course. Once you click on it, kutakuwa na information zote unataka from who is your instructor. I'm sure you can also check your classmate, but I doubt, I guess you ilitolewa. But anyway, kitu important ni your course and your course content. If you click on that course, it will take you to what we call a course home. Course home utaona structure venye imejipanga. Up from your course overview down to week 1, week 2 hadi week 5. Hapo chini kuna tab za library, najua sahi hakuna links, na kuna tab ya resources. By week 2 ikianza, they should be there zitaekwa, but that is for your instructor. Hiyo ndio kazi anaweka. So weekend hakuna mtu aliparticipate discussion as expected, so make sure mna participate even though the deadline is on Friday 13th. make sure umemeet. Hizo zingine quizzes, attendance, deadline ni kesho midnight. So just go there. You can use your phone. Kama uko place yenye hauna lapi, there's a phone application if you want, or you can use the browser. You can also use your computer via a desktop application because there's a desktop application, ama pia browser. Ukipata any challenges, don't keep quiet, don't give up. Enda pale mahali pa ask your instructor kwa course content, ask your instructor atakusaidia. If you can't reach there, please reach to me. Please reach to me, I'll be able to help you. Kuna watu nimecheki, so many, around 10. So watu wamemake huko ni kama 5. Only 10 people pekee wamemanage kulogin and do a few stuff. Wednesday mtakuwa na grading ya week 1 yote. So if you receive 0 again, it's a disadvantage because tulisema yenyewe ikicalculate at the end of the course na hujafikisha the expected grade, it will add you 2 to 3 more weeks on top before you move on to the next. Na ikukuadi ni very ngumu sana sisi tukusongesha the next step unless you have to do it manually. But anyway, we trust it, so make sure to umemeet. Inaweza kuwa unajua si ati hujui. Answer what you can. You can refer, haina shida. Is something open. Iko mtu ako na swali? Okay, I think not. Okay, kuna. Sawa, alafu leo usiku tafadhali let's discuss about Wednesday. Wednesday time ya meeting. Someone suggested tuirudishe nyuma. Mtu mwingine akasema tuisongeshe mbele. So please kujeni kwa group around 9 hapo, please let's talk about those timing. Ndio tukichange to change wote. Juu kuna watu wengine walikuwa nafikiri leo it was 2:30. Mwingine alikuwa anauliza kama itakuwa usiku. But ni sawa. Kuja to discuss then to decide time moja yenye kila mtu ako sawa. Ama kama uko sawa sana at least mbaya because I'm seeing people like Kelly and Jack and Sharon and Joy wamemiss, hawako leo, but they were there last time because of time. But anyway, ni sawa. Ni hivyo, sawa, tupatane Wednesday. Najua kamekuwa shorter kidogo, but the content we have. Mimi naenda tu na ile kitu instructor amenipatia. So kama amesema leo niongele about this and this is what I'll talk about. If I take 2 hours, it's okay. If I take 40 minutes, it's still okay. Tutatafuta platform ingine na pia time. So, adios.